Hello, adventurers. My name is Maximus, and I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I'd like to welcome you all to our 38th episode of Campaign 2 of Caches and Cantrips. For some of your favorite streamers. 38th.
How did we get so old?
I don't want to talk about old back.
Oh, we're not 38 years old. I see. Never mind.
I'm kind of past that, so.
Oh, man.
Oh, boobs.
It's close. It's close to me. I don't want to talk about it. I'm young at heart. That's what matters, right?
Are me and Mac the babies of the group?
Yeah.
I think so. I thought I was the baby, but I think you might be the baby, VS.
VS is the baby, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
We hold you like babies.
I'm just old mad moobs.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yes, how old are you?
33.
When's your birthday?
August 15th.
Dang it, I'm the baby!
Whoa!
Dang it!
When's your birthday? Like, what was it? It was like
I'm in December, so December 21st.
Right. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
I thought that VS was the baby. Wow, my memory is failing in my old age.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, welcome to episode 38, where some of your favorite streamers play Dungeons and Dragons live on Friday nights. I'm joined by our amazing cast of Mac and Cheese Please, Nina Nikolic, Virtual Spectre, and Moobs Like Jagger from the GG crew. Bunny Dreadful is not going to be joining us tonight because she doesn't feel well. She's sick, so everybody give her some well wishes in the chat, please, because she's not feeling good.
Oh.
Yeah, spam the hearts.
Give her some love. She was like, I'm going to watch. She's like, but I might be sad, so I don't know.
That's okay.
She's probably playing Stardew right now. Probably.
With that update, let's go.
That's her comfy game. Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway, it feels like it's been 6 years since we played while we were gone for a bit, but I'm happy to be back. And
it's been a minute. We've been off for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, we were off for 2.
Yep.
I don't even know how to play anymore, but we're going to figure it out. We'll do it live.
Wait, where are my dice?
Uh-oh.
I'm not ready. Hold the phone. My goodness.
I got this bad boy at PAX East. It's made of tiger's eye.
Oh.
Made from it is a hefty boy, so I gotta be
chunk.
careful. Since it is made of stone, I gotta be careful how I roll it. But
Don't drop it or anything.
Foundry. I got my roller guy. Got my little guy.
Oh man. Anyway, if this is your first time here, or if you're just you're gonna have to explain that now, Vina. Or
Yeah.
Nina.
She's practicing to be Bane from Batman.
No one cared who she was, so she put on the mask.
So last night I barely just retained my voice, and this is it basically just like it's a vaporizer with like saline solution to keep the vocal folds all nice and moist. So I'm just trying to stay safe because we have to be cooler, but we also don't want to damage ourselves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Well, Nina, my friend Chris, he drinks it's called Popacoa. Have you heard of it?
No.
So all my VA friends, they also they're like, I don't even know how to spell it, but anytime they have like long sessions, they're all about the Popacoa.
Isn't that syrup that's like you get it from like the Asian grocer or something?
Something like that, yeah.
No, that I haven't had yet. But
yeah,
I
they
do have
they
like
all
a crazy
swear by it. For all long sessions. Yeah.
Yep.
Tips
That
and tricks.
and Yes, yes, do recommend, but I haven't tried it yet myself. But I do have a concoction of tea that I have, but you can't talk while you're on it because it's all like lemon juice, honey,
Mm.
and like turmeric and ginger and garlic and stuff. So it's all the anti-inflammatory, antifungal, anti
The
everything.
anti everything.
Because y'all know how I am with my infections. I love them. They're my favorite.
Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. If you didn't know, we have a podcast as well where you can watch the episodes later. You can watch our out of combat episodes. Those are also on YouTube too, where we talk about the episode after the episode. So you get all the behind the scenes fun stuff and talk about all the things that happened and learn all the secrets. You can also listen to our Tome of Knowledge episodes where we just talk about D&D in general and help you learn about the game, basically. But you can go
Yeah, we
check those
do.
out on podcast format or, of course, YouTube at Caches and Cantrips. And I believe our podcast, we're almost at like 4,100 plays or so like that. So go check it out. We're everywhere. We're on Spotify, Apple, Google, all of them. We're on all of them. And if we're not, then tell me and I'll get on there. But anyway, I think that we've been away too long and I'm just ready to just play some D&D. What do y'all say about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Let's just do it. Y'all can get the links in the chat. Go check out the Patreon,
Let's
but
do
I'm
it.
ready to roll some dice. Go hang out in our Discord, all that funness. But I think it's ready, or we're ready to get into the 38th episode of Casters and Cantrips. Our story last left off with Cooter and Hayden making their way to find the rest of the party as they were due to have brunch with Isaac Sterling and Lucian Ashbourne to discuss selling this ancient tapestry. They eventually were able to track down the group as they had just been seated at the illustrious restaurant known as the Ephemeral Epicure. After receiving a bit of coaching before the meeting by Sterling, the entire party was taken back to a private dining room in the restaurant where Lucian was awaiting the group. They all introduced themselves as members of the Silvertide Enterprise, and they all used fake names to avoid using their true identities with them. After ordering their succulent meal, the party got right down to business with Lord Ashbourne. And after learning that the group had possessed the Eternal Harmony tapestry, Lord Ashbourne insisted that the piece would have to be independently verified to ensure its authenticity. He also mentioned it would be a very long process due to the size of the piece, but the group will be able to oversee the verification from the viewing room. After a brief negotiation, they all agreed to get the tapestry into the auction at the Gilded Spire during the symposium on the following Fire's Day. He even suggested trying to lure two of the Gilded into the auction to ensure the price was driven up. The crew had weaved a tale of how they found the piece in a long-lost shipwreck of the Mistress of the Sea, which was sure to create some allure around it. Ultimately, they struck a deal where Ashbourne would take 18% if it sold for more than 15,000 gold. Otherwise, he'd only take 15. After this deal was brokered, he invited the group to his gallery later in the afternoon to have it verified. And shortly after completing all their business dealings, they walked out of the restaurant and into the streets of the Gilded Atoll in order to make their way back to the ship. However, they were once again caught by surprise and were attacked in broad daylight by the Shadowtide cartel. The party ultimately defeated their assailants, and the emissaries of the Golden Mask arrived on the scene to secure it. They addressed Hayden as a sort of superior on the scene and looked toward him for direction. He instructed them to apprehend the knocked out Shadowtide enforcer and take them to the nearest guard station. And that is where we'll begin our episode this evening.
It's Sunday, right?
It is. Let me find my calendar. If I remember correctly, it is Moon Day. Sextus the Second.
And the fight just ended, or is like a little bit of time passed?
The fight just ended. They have taken this Shadowtide enforcer away to the nearest guard station.
Oh, I'm unconscious.
And you are unconscious. Yes.
I went
you
down.
are knocked out, brother.
Oh yeah.
I think you were stabilized, but you're knocked out.
I was stabilized, but I had sleepy times.
It is your nights.
I kind of like rush over to Azric and like bend down and like put my hand like under his head and feed him like a health potion.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll that dice and see how many health he gets back.
D4, right?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Hold on, let me roll a second one.
Don't I have a medicine pack
8.
I can use?
Ooh.
Very nice. If you had a healer's kit and you're proficient, you could heal people with it. But you already used, I believe, Spare the Dying to make sure he's not dying anymore. He's just unconscious.
Yes, I did. I do have a healer's kit, but I don't think I'm proficient, even though I am the healer of the ship.
If I remember correctly, I think anyone can use a healer's kit. It just helps people from not dying, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Anyway, that's fine. Just have a good nappy nap, Azric. You'll be right.
So you come back to the land
Lord
of the
knows
living.
I need one.
Oh God! Did we win? Did I die again?
I think we all did.
I give him a look and I'm like, you idiot. And I like get up. Like I'm mad that he went down.
I'll walk over. Hayden's gonna walk over to him and reach out his hand to help him up.
Oh, I appreciate it, Hayden. It's careful.
I took a nasty spill there.
I don't know why, but arrows seem to be my weakness.
Well, my apologies for showing up late. I did what I could, but
Pull this one out. Oh, good. The cards always show up when they're not needed.
yeah, about that. Are they kind of like, are the guards kind of like milling about, like inspecting the scene, or?
Yeah, so they're sort of surrounding the scene now, and since you instructed to apprehend them, they're taking that enforcer to the nearest guard station, which is just a couple blocks away. So there's a group of maybe 3 that are carrying them because they're asleep at the moment. They'll probably wake up, but they're apprehended because I believe they went night-night because of Taj. And one thing I will say that I have a bone to pick with you players, because I listened to those out of combats. Y'all are all like, the guards take so long to get there. In real time, it was 20 seconds. I'd be happy about that. I don't know about you, but come on.
20 seconds too late because I was unconscious.
Why aren't the guards always? They're saying, "Why didn't you come get us?" Well, we didn't know that we needed you 20 seconds ago, did we? We're just as surprised as you are, and equally as frustrated.
Anyway, you do know that there is a highly increased presence of the emissaries of the Golden Mask since it is the week of the Mercantile Symposium of Progress. So pretty much everyone's doing double shifts. The streets are packed. People are coming in droves this week.
Well, is everyone feeling all right? Anyone else
Nope.
hurt? I have a healing potion if anyone needs it.
Well,
No one
I-
else comes out
it
of the
is-
shadows to attack us. I'm fine. Sorry, Kuta.
It's kind of painful, but I do think we need a bit of a rest. But I don't know if we have time today. That's the thing. We have so many things we have to pick up. There's the crystal that we need to look at, and the Hemi wanted some new clothes. Maybe we should pick some up for her. I'm not sure. And then
Something I know for sure. We should not be picking these things up and doing designs looking like ourselves. We are clearly a target.
Yes, I agree. We should definitely start getting a little
Well,
different.
I would say we probably have time to take a rest before we get to these things. Azric needs it. Everyone else does.
I definitely need it too.
The mystic seer does not like me whatsoever, so you guys are free to visit her and pick up the echoing crystal, and I'll just stay at the ship.
Fair. Well, how much? Because I know this is the same day as the breakfast thing that happened, right? This was all on the same day.
This happened in the street outside of the breakfast thing.
Gotcha. So, did are Lucy and them still in the restaurant, or did they leave before this?
Lucian left to go
yeah.
to Ashbourne. Yeah, Lucian Ashbourne left to get his gallery prepared. Because you all, if you remember correctly, had a little bit of business dealings with Isaac in the restaurant where you sold your schematics that Cooter made up and all that other stuff. So he went ahead to his galleries to basically prepare things because they're going to have to verify it. Sterling's probably still inside stuffing his face.
Okay, I was wondering if like either of them to witness it, because that would not be great.
So, did we hand over them the tapestry or not yet? Okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to just deliver it there sometime later. Because I think you requested to be in the room while they're verifying it, or at least have someone there.
Yeah, my intention is to make sure they don't swap it out.
Yeah. No issue there. You still got it.
Well, perhaps in that case, I do need a rest myself, but perhaps maybe on the way back to the ship we can transform ourselves on the way to pick up this echoing crystal and get a contact for those magical items we were looking for, and then go back to the ship and rest up before we head off to the gallery.
Might not be a bad idea to take a little nap. Maybe get some food?
Yes, I concur.
Moving forward, I agree with Taj. We should disguise ourselves in public, since this is the second time we were attacked in public, and I dare say there will be a third.
Or as many as it takes for them to kill us, yeah.
It does seem like it at this point.
They came back a lot stronger this time too. So I fear for what the third time might look like. Maybe Hayden, you can get your new friends to follow us around, watch us.
Maybe. They seem to think I'm somebody of import, so I might as well use that to my advantage.
Might not be a bad idea.
Out of your peripheral, Hayden, you see one of the guards sort of milling around, and like, you know, the thing, like the awkward moment in public where like you want to talk to someone but they're in another conversation, you're like patiently waiting for them to finish and don't want to interrupt them. One of the guards is just sort of standing there and just kind of waiting to interject, and it is Harry, if you'll remember him.
But he has a mask on, so like I can't see that.
Yeah.
I'll kind of, I guess, look over and be like, "Oi, something interest you?"
Well, Mr. Highwind, we are just we're waiting instruction. We've apprehended the person, and we're curious if you're going to question them. We're not exactly sure of your charge here, and we don't want to step on any toes.
Well, that makes two of us. Am I somehow on your payroll and I didn't know?
And you could physically see like the gold, like the expressionless mask, like just like look like left and right, Sir, I don't think
Ne-
we're at liberty to discuss you're in the middle of this. Right.
Fine, whatever it is. This is the second time me and my crew have been attacked in broad daylight. Can any of your men be spared as like a personal detail or something?
Well, that may have to go up to the captain, sir. I'm suppose we could speak to him. I've heard he's on his way to this guard station. I assumed that you wouldn't want the added scrutiny that would entail.
Well, I also don't want me or any of my mates to die in the streets. Listen, we have some things to take care of. If it comes to it, we may come to you asking for further assistance, but for now, I have to get my friend back and resting, and we have some things to take care of, so I don't know. Do whatever it is you do with these criminals, and you may see us again, you may not.
Right, sir. Shall I inform Captain Darius that you'll be having your own interrogation? I don't think he'll want to wait for you.
I turn back to the group. Do we know it's the cartel, we know what they want. Do we really need to question this one?
I mean, when's the next time they're going to try to kill us?
You think he'll give up that information?
Maybe if your people can report back to us what they find. If there's anything new or anything interesting to tell us, maybe they find you and tell you the information so we do not need to waste this time.
All right. And you all get the feeling, no insight required. This guy is the lowest rung on the ladder. He's the guy that got paralyzed in the first battle. It looks like it's his first month on the job or what. Like he doesn't know shit.
Just tell your captain we all believe that you can handle the interrogations yourselves. If there's aught more to learn, then I'm sure he'll find a way to get in contact with us.
Right. And then you hear sort of in the like other side of like the streets where you are, you hear someone yell, "Captain Insane!" And everyone like comes to attention. In the middle of like talking to you, he like straightens up and like holds his pike. And it's really weird because it's like he's standing at attention, but he's staring like right at you, like in conversation, like distance. And he's not even facing where the captain's coming in from. And you see sort of strolling onto the scene the similar regalia that you had noticed that kind of separates this emissary from the rest of just a little bit nicer, a little bit more like gilding on the armor, that sort of thing. And he sort of just comes walking into the scene, starts pointing, starts correcting people, having them shut down the streets, stuff like this. And then he looks over and sees you lot talking to Harry.
Fuck. Do we really want to deal with this man?
I mean, we can slip away right now before he arrives.
Oh, he's here. He looked at y'all talking to Harry.
Well,
Y'all are hiding. Y'all are talking to Barney Five over here, basically.
Do we have a choice? I don't think we have a choice. He's right. He's coming. He's coming right behind you.
Good afternoon, Captain. You have
And you just
any
sort of
healing potions on you?
Told you I had one.
he sort
Could
of
always use a few more.
he just sort of looks at you, and different than when you were all in the interrogation rooms, like it's just the same expressionless golden mask, except his is just a little bit nicer. He sort of looks you over. Perhaps it could be arranged if you require medical assistance. Could I see you, sir? Perhaps in a more private manner, and like points to you, Hayden.
Do I have to?
I think it would be in everyone's best interest if we were to have a conversation.
I'll do it. And I like.
Right. Fine. Lead the way.
And he sort of just takes you to a part that's been secured in the scene, like near an empty stall, like an empty shop. Like one of the shop owners had probably ran during the melee to get out of there and haven't returned, and now it's being sort of cordoned off by the rest of the people. And he sort of just like walks in, opens the flap, and just sort of just lets you inside, lets it go and closes it, and he gets like uncomfortably close to you. And you can't see his facial expression, but you kind of feel that there's definitely some anger, some frustration, some tension. And from beneath that golden mask, he says, "No, I believe that we've given you plenty of a wide berth to do whatever it is the fuck that you're doing here. But if this keeps happening, you need to loop us in. I can't have people being attacked in the broad daylight, especially the week of the symposium. My superiors are breathing down my fucking neck, and I'm in the darkness for whatever the fuck you're doing here. Now, I don't want to cause any sort of incident, but what is it that you're doing? And if possible, can you do it quickly and get the fuck out?"
Well, when we spoke before, I believe I mentioned we were here for the symposium. We have some things we want to sell and maybe buy. Look, I didn't ask to be attacked by the cartel.
That's fine. If you want to play cute with me, that's fine. But you and I both know what's going on here. I just don't know the full details. Now, if you don't want to tell me what exactly is you're doing here, that's fine. But maybe a little professional courtesy is in order.
What has happened? Listen, all I know is at one point I was a stone statue, and when I awoke, I was here on the Gilded Atoll. My mates have some business here through the symposium, and after that, we plan on getting the fuck off this island.
You hear him like just frustratingly exhale underneath his helmet, and he takes his index finger and just pokes you in the chest and goes, "Fuck you, Highwind," and just opens the flap and walks out.
Cooter's outside perceiving everything, just like
Huh? Somebody pissing his oats this morning? I guess I'll walk out.
And you hear Captain Darius just yelling. He's like, "Wrap this shit up. They've got it covered. They don't need us." And Harry's like, "What about the prisoners?" Like, "Who the fuck cares?" And just like storms off.
It sounds like next time they're just going to let us die.
Yeah.
We really should loop them in next time, maybe. But I don't think we want to make enemies of them as well.
Yeah, he seems to think there's something more going on. That somehow I'm keeping him in the dark about something. But I just told him what we're doing here, that we're here for the symposium and that we plan to leave once it's done. And so...
I believe he thinks there's something more to it, considering that the Shadow Tide cartel has tried to kill us twice now. He believes that there's a bigger story, when in reality there isn't. Maybe we'll just have to spin something for him.
I mean, I can kind of see from his perspective how I mean, the optics are kind of on his side on that one.
The only reason they're pissed is because you have the thing that we're trying to sell. That's the story, right?
Well, we know why they're really pissed. We need to tell the masks, the emissaries, that there's a deeper meaning or something. Like maybe whatever they think you are, you're trying to infiltrate the ranks of the Shadow Tide cartel and dissolve. We can just make something up, and they can be on board, and they'll do all the hard work, and while we just skip away with tons of golds in our pockets. I mean, you could say something as cliche as "the less you know, the better."
Well, I don't really think he wants to talk to me anymore right now.
Well, in the meantime, I suppose then we best go back to Zephyr's. But before we do,
We should have thought of that plan before I talked to him. I just got yelled at for about 5 minutes about something I'm not sure what. That could have been
that's
useful.
all right. You can have it in your back pocket next time. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Yeah, well,
You can have
it
a
might.
hot
He might be standing over our corpses next time.
Oh, definitely mine. Third
Not
time
if we
charm.
get to some magical items first. But before we do, is there like a little alleyway or something that I can shuffle down there? No one's going to see me kind of transform myself. Go behind. Is there like a little do the old switcheroo in the bathroom type shenanigan?
Yeah, sure. You can go find somewhere easily to do that. Like people are very distracted. The street in this area is pretty cleared out from the masks showing up that were starting an investigation and have seemingly just dropped it based on Captain Darius.
Okay, cool. Well, Kuda goes into like one of those little, like a little cubicle or something, and then she rubs her signet ring and goes, "Schmiggity-doo, give me back a spell slot number 2." Then she gets one of her second spell slots back so that she can cast Alter Self on herself.
Oh, man.
God.
Luckily, I got this ring.
I need Cooter to embrace like her inner witch and just start brewing her potions and cauldrons and stuff.
Yeah, that's what she's like, the alchemist, witch alchemist. True. And she alters her because we want to be trying to be getting around incognito, you see. So she transforms herself from regular Kuda into like the opposite of what that would be, like how Ursula turns into like that really beautiful lady who tries to steal the print. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like instead of little old granny turtle, she's like just a young, nondescript, pretty like human. It's like not just like anyone that you would see around for the symposium.
You look like
maybe
generic
someone's
white girl number 2.
Yeah, like lady getting coffee in the Starbucks.
So you got your pumpkin spice latte and
That's kind
she's
of
just like someone's assistant for the symposium, like just
As the rich dad came here on his boat.
yeah, exactly. And then she comes back out to the team and says,
Don't worry, team, it's me. I mean, don't worry, team, it's me.
Because it doesn't change her voice, it just changes how she looks like.
Okay. Well,
I just don't want people to continue targeting us. Wait, I shouldn't be seen talking to you.
And then she kind of like shuffles away a little bit until the rest of the group sort themselves out.
Are we in like an alley or like
You can
somewhere?
be wherever you want. You were in the middle of the street when you got attacked, but you can go to an alley, you can go in a business, you can go wherever you like. You just haven't left the scene of the battle yet.
Yeah, I just kind of like ducked into like a little hidey hole somewhere.
Yeah, I'll like walk into an alley and then just kind of like snap my fingers, and I just look like your run-of-the-mill generic woman, like long brown, like solid brown hair, like brown eyes, like tannish complexion, and just like I have like a bag of costumes that I just kind of always have on me, and so she's just in like clothes that are for warm weather, but like not obvious, just like normal people clothes.
If you want to fit in with the rest of the crowd here.
Yeah, just trying to fit in for sure.
Cool.
Basically, Kuda looks like she would be Taj's assistant in what, like her personal assistant. Like Taj is like the Kim Kardashian, and Kuda now looks like the person who chases Kim Kardashian around to get her coffees and shit. That's kind of the vibe.
Perfect. Anyone else?
Still in our rich people clothes, right? 'Cause we had brunch. I'm gonna look like Mr. Sterling, but like a younger, thinner version of him.
So just like him, but better, like an upgrade.
Yeah, like a +5.
Like
upgrade.
a glow up.
Yeah.
Major glow up.
Hayden's definitely in his normal gear now. He definitely changed when he left.
Yeah.
Well, this is wonderful, but how exactly am I supposed to change appearance?
You're just...
She kind of like stage whispers from far away, because she's not supposed to be seen talking to Hayden, because that would blow her cover.
Maybe you should just be invisible. I don't know.
Fantastic idea. Let me cast my magic.
I think it's canon that now, since Azric tried to do a better Mr. Sterling, you're just Mr. Stainless instead. Go ahead, Tosh.
In my bag of clothes, would I just have like other stuff that I could just give Hayden as like beautiful robes that like kind of cover your head and your eyes, like not quite like a burqa, but like just something for like the weather area, you know?
Yeah.
What if maybe I just keep my hood up and trail a little bit farther away from you all as you're walking around, so we're not together, but I'm not exactly far away.
And since I'm a new person, I have a different accent now. I'm just going to talk normally.
Okay.
That's a bad idea, because everyone who wants you knows what you look like. So maybe you hide in some way. I don't think we're the target. You're the target.
Of course, I wouldn't walk right down the middle of the street necessarily. I could blend in with the crowd.
I just throw him robes.
So what you have is a disguise kit. It's more than just extra clothes if you want it to be. So it includes like cosmetics, hair dye, props. Like if you want to make Hayden not Hayden, you can. You're proficient in that. You could you could do a little Mission Impossible thing here. It'll take time.
Yeah.
And you'll have to do some rolls. Otherwise, he could just change his clothes, whichever you all prefer.
I like give a shrug, like I'm game if you're game.
If that's what it takes, fine. I'll put whatever this is on.
And since Taj is going to be doing this to Hayden, I want Taj to describe what she makes Hayden look like, because he has no say in the matter, because he's standing there getting things applied to him and robes and makeup and stuff. So what does Hayden look like now?
Hayden is now gonna look like a woman because he's being snarky with me. And so Taj is kind of getting back at him a little bit. And so think of like in Breath of the Wild when Link has to go to that area and dress like a woman and like secretly, like that's basically what I'm doing to Hayden, and like giving him like prosthetics and like clay on the jaw to like kind of like soften the jawline a little bit, you know, like I give him a different nose and I'm like putting makeup on him to give him lashes and like filling in the eyebrows, you know, and then like using like a little mask to like cover, but it's like shimmery and pretty, you know, like basically Link from Breath of the Wild is what I'm making Hayden look like.
But what's the, like, is the outfit a robe, or, because I feel like I don't have womanly features.
Yeah, it can be like robes that kind of like drape in like nice ways, you know, flattering. And then like I put like a belt around your waist to like cinch you up a little bit.
Link's outfit was like a crop top and like
yeah. So we could give you like a whatchamacallit, like a just kind of like a Greek kind of robe vibe, but then you have like some sort of mask, you know, so that way your face isn't quite your face, but your eyes are like looking really feminine right now.
And your eyeliner game is like on point. Like you got some big wing
literally
tips.
You got a cat eye right now.
Yeah.
Taj, can you give me your roll for your disguise kit? It's going to be D20 plus your intelligence plus your proficiency bonus. So it's going to be D20 plus 6.
Okay.
Low roll. Hayden's eyelashes are going to be like falling off and like.
Can I use an inspiration?
Absolutely.
Hold on. We gonna re-roll this dice, and that die is in jail. It's no longer in use today. Actually, this is my better dice. Let's do this one. Hold on, I'm bad at simple math. 14.
14. Passable. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. You think that it will hold up under most circumstances unless someone really tries to potentially scrutinize who this person is. But you would know well ahead of time if someone's going to get up in Hayden's mug and try and figure out if it's a disguise or not. So pretty good.
I'm going to try to sell the idea, and I extend my elbow and come along, darling. And I look at Hayden. It's about time we go. Hip, hip.
Yes, we have to get to Zephyr's. And then we'll go back to the ship and have a snooze, I think.
Oh, honey bunny, you're too shy. And I grab Hayden's hand and put it around my arm, and we start walking.
Try anything funny and I'll shoot you.
Oh, you say the darndest things, darling. Let's go.
Yep. You all are all disguised up and ready to hit the town wherever your next adventure is going to be.
Back to Zephyr's.
We were going to go back to Zephyr's to pick up this echoing crystal, right? On the way back to the ship.
Oh, is that her name? Yes, very well.
Yes, Zephyra the Mystic. Yes.
And
there was
how
also
is
a
she going
contact.
to recognize us?
Oh, that's all right. Taj and I have got this.
Right.
I think she and Taj have a little bit of a kinship, so I think she'll catch on quite quickly. If anyone is to know who we are, it's the mystic.
And
Very
as
well.
soon as we get in there, I can just go back to being Taj.
And
True.
I can just wait outside.
Well, shall we get this over with?
Yes. Have we already paid her for the echoing crystal?
No.
Oh, all right, Taj, dear. Here's a little bit of spending money for that.
I like hold out my hand. Thank you, Grandma.
Money, please!
Yeah.
Money, please.
Money, please!
Some walking around money from Grandma. Well, I guess it's from your assistant who's holding your coin purse now since
The
you're all
bank,
disguised.
And I will give her I think it was 300 gold in total, right? So it was like 200 for the echoing crystal, and then we were like paying her for a contact
Yes.
as well.
Yeah,
that
for
we can
Emmy.
use later when Emmy comes back. Yeah, okay, cool. So I throw you the 300 gold for that because Mama Moneybags is on the case.
Alrighty. So 300 gold of walking around money for Taj, and you all make your way back to Zafira, who is a little closer to the dock area from where you are. And if I remember correctly, her place was called... Let's find it. Let me scroll back to notes that have been episodes and episodes ago. Ah, yes.
Fear's Veil.
Yes, it is Zafira's Veil. Very nice.
Inspiration?
Not quite, but I'm proud of you. How about that?
Sir, can I please have some
Thanks,
more?
Oh man. So you make your way in to Zafira's Veil, the same sort of permanent building here, it's made of the sandstone. It is quite close to sort of the club that you had went to previously, the Saffron Allure. It's like on the way to it. And once you make your way there, you see her sort of basically trying to work the crowd, get people to come in, have their fortunes read, their futures told, those sort of things. Some people are biting, some people are in the shop kind of perusing around. There's trinkets and things inside to buy. At face value, Taj, if you look in here, most of this stuff is like touristy trap, like trinkets just for her to make a buck, basically. Doesn't really hold any actual divination value, but maybe she's selling some nice crystals. I don't know, some scents. But
There are people in the shop.
Yeah. The atoll, starting on Moon Day the 2nd, which is what it is now, it's busy. People are starting to come in. It's like it's con week, basically.
And you know who's going based on what they're wearing on the plane.
Yeah.
Is the door to her shop like one of those things where it's like drapes, you know, so like as you like, or is it a door?
There's a door to the front, but there is some of those nice drapes that lead towards the back where you went into the room with the large table where you had the seance, that kind of stuff.
I start like heading back that way and like make eye contact with Zafira and then like kind of like snap and change back to Taj as I'm like mid drape, so like people can't see me, but if she's like basically as I'm passing through, I'm changing, you know.
And she sort of looks and then she whispers to it looks like a young woman attendant who is really just there like hired help for the week, try and keep the shop up and running. So she's free to do sort of her mystic stuff for people, and then that way this other young woman can sell the trinkets because she can't do it all at once. There's too many people. She whispers to her, motions to one of the customers that she'll be back in a moment. Is anyone else going in, or is it just Taj?
I'm gonna stay outside.
Smart move.
She did not like me last time.
Yeah. I just kind of like poke my head in a little bit and like wave and wink at her and then kind of duck back out.
Yeah, I suppose we'll all kind of just wait outside. Unless Taj needs one of us.
All right. And then you see Zafira, which, if you need a reminder, she's sort of like late 60s, tiefling woman, deep purple skin. Her eyes are gold. Her irises are gold. She has sort of long curling horns, almost like a ram that sort of curl over themselves, that are adorned with beads, charms, jewelry, stuff like that. She's wearing long, flowing, wouldn't want to call them robes, sort of the same loose-fitting clothing everyone else is sort of wearing in the area based on the heat and the climate here. And she goes towards the back, and she says, "Well, I see that you have returned on time. Good to see you, Taj."
Good to see you. Sorry for the disguise earlier. We have been chased, and this is the second attack, so we do not feel safe walking around as ourselves. It is, are you say wise to change our appearance?
You perhaps have not been heeding your future. Remember what was told to you? Murky waters, rough seas ahead for you and yours.
Well, I did not think that it would be so soon. I thought maybe more broad, not the coming days.
Well, you should know as well as I do that when it comes to fate, we always think we have more time than we actually do.
You are not wrong. Do you know who these people are, maybe, that are chasing us?
I
They're
think you
from the
know who these
cartel?
people are. Of course.
Is there any rumors on where they reside on the island?
I think that if someone knew that information, if they were to tell it, they probably would not live to see the next sunrise.
I wasn't sure if you knew whispers.
Well, there is a whisper network for these sort of things, but I think those sort of questions might get you into trouble. I can say that perhaps their organization goes deeper than you may think it does.
Are you insinuating something?
They are more than your run-of-the-mill thieves guild. But specifics, I do not have.
Well, I do appreciate any information that you have, so thank you.
Keep yourself out of trouble. It would be a shame if something were to happen to you. You have so much left to give the world.
We are here for the symposium to deal with some piece of artifact that we found. We thought this would be the place to sell it. And then we're off. No need to be here anymore.
Well, as far as you think anyway, I think that the threads that are woven in our futures don't particularly care about our intended path. But perhaps you're right. I've not looked that far, so... I do believe that you are here for something specific, if I do recall correctly, so give me one
This is true.
moment.
Thank you.
She goes back. So this is sort of the side room. She goes out and then goes back towards like a back area. And you're left in sort of that same room where the seance occurred. Nothing nefarious is happening here, but you being alone in that room after what happened really just kind of gives you some bad vibes. Like there's nothing specific about it. It's just this place, it's empty. You still vividly see what happened to this poor woman and all of the sort of excitement that happened afterwards, with her and Emmy and Azaric and all of these things. It's just gives off real bad vibes, but it's unexplainable. She comes back soon after, and then when she returns, that feeling sort of subsides as you're no longer alone just with your thoughts in the empty room here. And she hands over probably a fist-sized or slightly bigger like leather satchel. She just hands it over to you. The first half of our bargain.
And I open it to like check and make sure it is what we bought.
Yeah. And you sort of put the bag down onto the table. You peek inside. And it's sort of a very deep blue, almost like on the tinge of like indigo, like that in between like blue and purple. If you look at it, it has a very interesting sort of gradient on the inside where it looks like there's a swirl of like smoke inside of it. And if you stare at it long enough, it looks like it's smoke trails that are sort of happening inside of it, but it's sort of like an optical illusion of sorts. But when you sort of put the bag on the table to open it, you notice that as soon as it hits the table, it's sort of a thunk. And this crystal is just resonating at just like a perfect pitch for as long as you're holding it until you like stop it, basically. Think of like if you did a tuning fork.
Look at it mesmerized, like I almost like can't look away from it, but
it's beautiful for sure. And then she says, for the second piece of the agreement, I assumed that your small friend would be here, the elven one. No matter. How is she doing after that incident with her mother?
She is on the mend. She needed some time to look it all in, so she's on the ship.
I see. I feel for you, having your loved one in communication sort of ripped away cannot be easy, especially if so much time has passed. Anyway, I will tell you the information. I assume that you will give it to her. She is looking for someone by the name of Thalanis. This Thalanis, acquaintance of mine, I would not call a friend, more had business dealings with them. Thalanis owns Obsidian Elegance. It is a place where people buy things that they don't need for too much gold.
That is pretty much this whole island, no?
You are not wrong, but I have made a life of it, so I cannot complain. But Thalanis is a dark elf gentleman. Very striking features. His hair, not quite stark white, a little bit of maybe shades of pink like sunset in it. He curates a very particular collection in Obsidian Elegance for the right inquirers. And I will say it will not be easy to get in, as the clientele is very specific, and there's sort of a test beforehand. But as long as you are with her, it should be no problem. You will have no issue getting through this.
Do you think that if we say your name or something else that we have an upper hand, or no?
It will not matter. It will just be... Let me put it this way. It will require you to... the person that's entering to see things that other people cannot. Which you are more than capable of doing so. You'll understand when you go.
Is there any turn-offs or things that we should know about this man, or he does not judge?
No, Thalanis does not judge if you have the coin and mind your manners. He's very
I should tell that to some of our crew.
Well, is there anything else that you required from me? I do believe the payment was 100 gold pieces.
Hey. And I hand her a bag.
And she doesn't even count it. She just takes it and just kind of slides it over the opposite side of the table. Is there anything else that you needed or wanted while you were here?
Not at the moment, but I, in good faith, will probably be back before we leave.
I see. Well, I will offer this to you. I do not know your situation, but there might be a way for you to keep the gold if you are willing to do me a favor. Otherwise, you could just pay the amount and call it good.
What is this favor?
There is someone at the symposium that is, well, trying to say that our like-minded abilities are redundant, and that it is just a matter of science more than the arcane, and that perhaps anyone could do what we could do. I would love for this person to be highly embarrassed. I want this presentation that they give in the symposium to fall apart at the seams.
You want me to interrupt or question their findings when they give their proposal?
Oh no, I want you to sabotage every angle of this presentation. However you see fit, you can embarrass them publicly, but I really would like every possible thing to go wrong.
I will do my best. As you know, where it is held, they take all your magic items, so I will try. Assuming it's held in the same spot that we had that meeting where, like, they took everything from us.
No, that was like a specific club, the Mercantile Symposium of Progress, which you haven't been to it yet. But from what you understand is, it is a huge event that just takes place in the middle of the market. There's a large open area. I mean, literally think of people that have booths that are like trying to sell things. They have specific areas for like presentations in large buildings that have been sort of commandeered for the occasion, those sort of things. So apparently this person is going to give a large presentation of some invention or scientific discovery.
Okay. Who is this person? I need to know who to target.
This person's name is Thaldir Runelight
Have we met this person since we've been here or no?
Nope.
This is like the first time I'm hearing them.
Nope. Never heard of them before or anything, which isn't surprising because people come from all over the continent to do this. I would have this person's reputation destroyed. I want them to be laughed off of the atoll. I want their business dealings to fail. I want their entire life to come crumbling down. And, well, I think you get the idea.
I will try my best, but I do not know how far I can go discreetly.
I leave it to you and your group. I will hold on to the gold as collateral, of course, but if you are to succeed, I will give you this back. And of course, my favor, which I personally believe is more valuable than gold anyway.
To owe somebody a favor is to basically owe them your life, so.
Well, I will await the news either way. Come Fire's Day. And if I do not hear back, then I shall spend the gold however I see fit.
That is a fair deal. And then I snap my fingers, and instead of looking like the person I looked like before, because I was looking like a normie, I now look like a rich person, like someone who's fancy that would, like, I would have Cooter as my assistant. Someone who has an assistant. So now I'm like this bitchy woman. This bitch is business bitch.
Yep. So you kind of.
He's now a boss bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hashtag CEO boss.
So you leave the room area. Some time passes, and then Zafira comes back and starts tending to customers and starts, peddling her services of reading people's futures, like that sort of thing. Trying to make some cash. So you meet the rest of your disguised crew outside.
Yeah, and if I didn't say it, it's probably assumed, but I take the echoing crystal that was like on the table, like I pick it back up and.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure to add that to your sheets. And that is the last remaining piece that you need for your scroll of knock. And you just need to take it back to your friend Zara on Black Ren Cove.
Adding it to my sheet now. Right. I look at my crew who doesn't know this new look yet because they haven't seen me. I walked in as one woman and came out as somebody else. And for anyone that's like, how is she doing this? My character's a changeling, so I can just do it.
You just snap your fingers and you are a new person.
I can be whoever I want. Wow. And so I'm like, come along. And like, sorry, I'm watching a dog who got very excited when I clapped. He's a border collie. Okay.
Very good boy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, okay. No, just help, don't clap. And I look at like Azric and make like flirtatious eyes.
Oh, don't mind her, darling. She means nothing, but we should go. As I look at female Hayden.
By the way, we just realized that Hayden is taller than Azric by a couple inches.
Yeah. Short king, let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Azric is above average height, right? Average is what, 5'7"? So
Is it really?
I think 5'7", 5'8". been. I don't know.
We're king in D&D world.
Yeah, in this world, sure. With like Goliath walking around and stuff.
Kuda looks at Taj and goes,
Ayla, yes, let us go. How did your meeting go? Did it go well?
Let's go. Let's not talk about these matters in the street. And I
Yes, yes, back to
sashay,
the
like
ship.
I'm just like leading the group to our next.
I'm like scuttling after her.
I think we were just going back to the ship for a little mimi. Little mimis.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Have a little afternoon naparoo.
Because we all need as long as a rest as we can possibly find.
Take a Mimi's.
Yeah.
A little siesta.
So I will say, at this point, you got attacked at brunch time, and you've gone across town a bit and gotten the crystal and stuff like that. So it's probably like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. You can't take another long rest until tonight. You only have
We
one.
do a short rest.
You can do short rest. You can't do a long rest, more than one per 24 hours. But you can take a nap for sure.
Nap it is.
All right. So you all, and you're just beelining it back to the ship at this point, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were beelining it back to the ship to rest as much as we can.
Yeah.
Because we have to before we try going anywhere else, just in case we all die.
So you all approach your ship in the docks. And as you're making your way up the gangplank, you see Jax and Barry and Slug sort of keeping watch. And Barry puts his hand up and goes, "Hey, who are you? You don't belong on this ship."
So in my disguise kit also apparently has a forgery kit because I'm a charlatan. So I have a I forged a letter from Azric that says that to grant us access on this ship, and that all matters will make sense as soon as we're aboard.
Gotcha. Alrighty. I will make a skill check because you were having to make a forgery of a letter, right? So just do D20 plus intelligence plus proficiency, so another D20 plus 6 to like forge this official looking letter onto the ship.
17 plus 6.
Oh, wow. 23. So Barry like looks at it and then like shows it to the others, and they go, "Well, looks," and they kind of huddle up. "It looks fine to me. Maybe we should talk to someone about it." "That's probably fine." And he just hands it over. He's like, "All right, welcome aboard. To the unfortunate, if you need a guided tour, you just let us know." And they just let you waltz upon that ship.
And we do, and as soon as we're like not anywhere where like people can see, I become Tosh again, and I'm just like, "You idiots."
And to their defense, it's a really official looking letter. Like the signature is perfect for Azric. There's even like gold leaf on the side, and it's just like, whoa, okay, like this is really important.
I also change back. I'm like, "Taj, darling, have you opened any bank accounts under my name?"
None that you need to know about. And I wink at him.
You've got
And next time, crew, get an officer involved when next time a letter like this comes aboard.
and Gare just looks and goes, "That's right, Paga."
Or don't let anyone board if you're not sure.
That's the thing is
Maybe,
I was sure.
since this is the first time something like this has happened, maybe if we propose a letter that has the word, a secret word on it, if you see that word, then you know it is us. To give you the rundown, we are being hunted is not the right word, but attacked by several people several times. It is unsafe for us to be about this island by ourselves or as ourselves.
Taj is right. The safe word is croissant.
Everyone just sort of looks around, and one of the other crew goes, "Well, we need an official seal." "Yeah, an official seal. Captain, what's your seal look like?" And you just take the candle and you pour it and you stamp it.
Seals are for nobles. We're pirates.
What?
Well, actually, my signet ring might serve that purpose. Because it actually, let me see if I can find it here. It's here somewhere on my person, for example, on my hand right here, where I can see exactly to show you that there is a distinctive design carved into it. And when I press it into warm sealing wax, I leave an identifying mark. Isn't that useful?
I would like you to describe the signet ring. What is it? What's it look like?
It is. I wish I could remember exactly how I made it when we did that thing recently that we did off stream.
I believe it's kind of like a brushed kind of steel iron kind of. It's very nondescript, but the actual signet itself is this really cool looking skull head. But it's got it doesn't have the jaw, so it's only like the top half of the skull, and the eyeballs is just like little black holes. They kind of look like my eyes, just like little black holes in my eyeballs. It's pretty sweet, actually.
And Kier just looks and he's just standing here talking about this. He's like, "Where the fuck did you get that?"
Oh, it just kind of, just came across it in my travels, It came in handy today.
And this, the 3 or 4 crew members here are just shuffling their feet. They're like, "Are we in trouble? What are we supposed to do? Do we have a signet? Do we have a stamp? What do we need to do?" And they're just kind of shuffling around, think 9-year-old soccer team, when they don't have direction, they're just starting to mill around and just okay, what do we do now?
You talk about getting tattoos.
Well,
branding.
Well, I mean,
we're not going to brand our ship peoples.
We could all get matching tattoos.
I need the rest. And I just walk away from this conversation. I'm like, no.
Oh, don't let anyone else back on the ship. All right, we're all here. No
But
one
if we-
gets on the ship.
But if we ever
Right now.
do need to have a secret signifier,
What-
there you go.
So if
Skull signet.
no one's welcome back on the ship, but even if they're a crew member, we don't let them back on the ship.
I stop mid-stride and I turn around and look at him. I'm like, "You idiot. Let people who need to be on the ship. And then if we are people that are disguised, we will hand you a letter with this insignia. And it will have the word croissant somewhere in the letter so you know it is us." And I without even letting him answer or ask questions, spin on my heels and continue walking.
And you see Gear and Barry were a pair that came on the ship. They're the ones that instigated the whole Bell's haunted thing. Gear is tying some rope, and he goes, "They have croissants on the island?"
I sigh as I open the captain's quarters and just close it. I'm done.
The door closes, and you see Kurzak walk out, and just everyone straightens up and gets back to work, and just sort of looks around and tries to find someone who he recognizes, which I don't think anyone, unless you've dropped your disguise, he doesn't recognize anyone except for Taj, but she's gone.
I dropped it when I asked Taj if he opened secret bank accounts under my name.
Gotcha.
I think Hayden will go and use Azric's captain quarters and just spend 30 minutes undoing everything that Taj did.
Like, get this off of me.
Yeah.
Kurzak says, I'm not sure I want to know. Captain, welcome back aboard. The repairs are ongoing. They are on schedule. So, at most, 2 days, maybe 3.
Oh, very good. Kurzak, I want the crew on high alert. We were attacked again this morning by the underbelly of this atoll. So please have everyone's eyes peeled. Do not let anyone board the ship unless they are part of the crew.
I'll see
By
to
the
it
way-
everyone understands.
It's me, Cooter. I can't drop my disguise until we have a good sleepy time. So, right now, I still sound like me. You know what I sound like? That's me.
He looks at you with like basic white girl, and then sounding like Cooter, and then is just and just looks at Azric, and he shakes his head.
It's not safe to go out there as ourselves right now, and we would rather you not have to come and collect our dead bodies.
Right.
But not to worry, we have a plan, obviously. Signet ring. See? It's me.
I will inform Whisper, whatever the title is, of the new parameters of boarding the ship. Very well. If that's all, I will get back to work.
I will explain to Kurzak, like while the crew goes away, that the details of what's happening and how the new protocols are going to work, because we're going to now be in disguise most of the time.
Gotcha. I mean, he sort of takes note and is going to spread it along to the crew. And then when you're finished talking, he sort of whispers to you, to be honest, Captain, getting matching tattoos would go a long way for morale for the crew. Perhaps you'd consider it. And he sort of lifts up his shirt, and you see it's okay. Like an okay tattoo under the circumstances. Like, it's not fantastic, but it's not like a prison tat or anything. Like, it's fine.
The pirate tat.
It's a pirate tat, and it is of a crab with its claws up held high and a long beard off the front of it, since his ship was the bearded crab.
You should show him that one.
I will take it in consideration.
Very well. When he sort of nods and just walks off and like puts his sleeve back down. And I think that's an excellent spot for us to go ahead and take a break before the crew gets their sleepy time in and deals with the rest of the day. So, with that, don't go anywhere. Just go stretch your appendages, get some snacks and some drinks, and we'll be right back here in a few.
Snackies.
And welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you had a nice little break and got some snacks and stretched your appendages. And where we left off, yeah, stretching is important. Where we left off, y'all were disguised and came back to the ship and you confused everyone. And now there's new rules. And I believe you all are going to go night-night for a little bit and hopefully get some energy back.
Go Mimis.
That's right, Mimi's.
Yeah, I preempted mine a little bit, so that's fine.
I got
Yes.
4 hit die left.
It was just
for
like a
short
little bit of
rest.
HP.
So you all can easily get a short rest. It'll be an hour by the time you wake up. It'll be like middle afternoon, like 3 or 4 p.m. But you can use your hit die, anything that you get on short rest, just a little button and it'll do it for you. And for Taj, as a wizard, you can also use your arcane recovery if you want some spell slot back.
Yeah.
I would love some spell slots back, but it doesn't work like that for me.
Yep. Not a wizard.
I'm not a wizard.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, after your short rest, you feel refreshed after the battle you all had earlier, hopefully. And what is the plan for party?
I believe we still need to deliver the tapestry
Correct.
solution, Ashbourne. But I believe we can take care of that if we hide it in your back potent cooter and we continue on our performance as being different people.
Yes, I can't change back until I can change back and then back again, which I'm going to have a long rest for that. So for the time being, this is what you get. But I do still have my bag of holding, yes.
I mean, Taj is a master fashionista designer. I'm sure she can do something to make you look different, like we did with our fair Hayden.
Well, is it dangerous now that I've been seen coming to the ship? Has that blown my cover? Maybe I shouldn't have come back. Maybe I should have gone somewhere else.
No, don't overthink it, Cooter. We'll have different costumes. It'll be all right.
I guess in this form I could change my clothes and then people might not notice. I look basic enough, right?
Very nondescript.
Yes, perfect. That's what I was going for.
If you use Alter Self as your spell, that only lasts an hour, so that rest is knocked it out.
And
So
then
you'd have to cast it
bonk,
again.
while she's talking, she turns back into Cuda.
Oh no, I guess I was wrong. Oh well, I'm stuck like this now. How are you going to hide me?
We'll have tons of costumes, Cooter, and maybe some makeup to change your skin tone.
Maybe
Make my beak a different colour, you mean? Yeah, I'm sure that's going to help.
maybe a large black pointy hat.
Oh, yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Do you have a disguise that could turn me into like Vivi from Final Fantasy IX?
I mean, my
That
I
might
have
work.
like tons of costumes and stuff. So
Because
I
what if
mean-
you, like have like the little pointy hat and like just a little, light jacket situation, something to kind of cover my face. I think that might work.
Listen, Taj has a disguise kit. Just let her cook, and she can do whatever y'all want within reason. So
Excellent.
we see
You
like
are
a montage, and I'm just like, I'm like adding stuff to her face, and I'm snipping fabric and just like whatever, And then like in the live action version of Beauty and the Beast, how the wardrobe is like there's throwing ribbons just everywhere, and then Belle comes out looking like a mess, like it's kind of like that, except Cooter looks how she wants to look. I don't play Final Fantasy, so I don't know what character you're talking about, but
It's,
I'll send you a reference just for
so
in the chat.
is is Hayden and Cooter both needing disguises from Taj? So
Probably.
I'm gonna go ahead and say for now, I don't really know how long it'll take to put these get-ups together, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be like an extra hour per person. That's pretty reasonable for a full like disguise. So make 2 more rolls, Taj. The first one will be for Cooter, the second one will be for Hayden.
Holy moly. They're both 17. I rolled 2 d20s. Both of them are 17 plus 6, I guess.
Gotcha. Hayden, what do you want to look like in this disguise?
I don't. It's a tough one. I'll let Taj handle it, like whatever she wants.
I look at Azric and smirk. Do you want another wife or do you want a friend?
Well, Well, I believe one of us has to be us because Mr. Ashbourne is expecting one of us to be there to deliver the tapestry.
It should be you. Because Hayden is a wanted man, so...
You know, right before we get there, I'll change back to myself. We'll just do that. But Hayden could be, just hired muscle. Make him look intimidating.
Hi. And I make him look like a ruffian, like a guy when you see him on the street, you're like, I don't want to be near this guy. He's seen some shiz, you know.
He looks
It's
like a hooligan.
Yeah, like a scar, and I put like putty on his face and like dented in, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's Hayden with just a mustache.
Yeah.
All right, you are now a ruffian, and we have a little magic guy for Cooter.
Little magic guy.
And like it's like my shell is kind of like hidden in the light jacket, so it just kind of looks like a backpack or something. Yeah.
Perfect. So
hello, little guy.
You all are amply disguised again. Do you give the crew any warning, or do you all just come out disguised?
Before that, I leave the echoing crystal on the ship.
Okay. Where do you leave it specifically?
I lock it up in like the captain's desk, you know.
Gotcha. Okay. It is locked up in the captain's desk. Very well. So you head out. Where to?
Ashbourne's gallery.
Fantastic. So with disguises, newly formed disguises, you head on over to Ashbourne Galleries, looking for Lucian. It takes you just a bit. This is another one of like the permanent establishments on the atoll, and when you enter in, it's quite a large building. You wouldn't be surprised if this was used as one of the spots where they would give presentations during the symposium. But currently right now it's set up as like an installation, and it is like sculpture in the main area. So different forms of monsters, humanoid people, like heroes, all sorts of different marble statues in the area. It's all very well made.
Yeah. Before we get there, I'll like head over to a corner and then turn back into Azric.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, because these people know us, don't they? So they would be expecting to see us.
And as you walk in with a new entourage, you see Lucian, the elven man, sort of talking to one of like the patrons there, just showing them a piece, and then looks over and he goes, "Oh, Lord Lighthelm, it's a pleasure to see you. Come in to Ashbourne Galleries."
Quite a prestigious location you have here, Lucian. Is quite the artwork. Top the line. Top.
Shouldn't surprise you.
Of course.
Now, I assume that you have discreetly brought the piece.
Oh, absolutely. If we can go somewhere a bit private, well, we can extract the tapestry for you to review.
Indeed. And is sort of Azrix comes in first, and the rest of you are like taking in like this gorgeous, luxurious building. It is this grand architecture, tall, arched, like stained glass windows. There are like towering columns on the way into the double door entrance, and then inside this sort of main foyer is separated by the continuing of these like double columns on either side. And then inside this main area is where you see all of the different sculpture, marble, different heroes and scenes of like heroism, epic battle, stuff like that. As you look up, you can see from the marble floor to the walls, like there's just frescoes painted on the ceiling here. Like, I mean, think like Sistine Chapel. Like, this dude has so much money that he paid people to just paint the entirety of this ceiling. And he sort of leads you back into the inner workings of the galleries. You see that there are several different wings. It's set up like a personal museum. It's like a museum that not anyone could just go to witness the beauty of art. It's like you have to be important to get here, and then you may have the privilege of seeing the pieces. It's a private collection of sorts, basically, and a place that he uses to do business. And he sort of go back through these winding corridors, and then you find a large, it's almost like a study, like a seating area. And then there is a separation between the two. And then there's in the room. It's almost like a clean room, basically. It's very nondescript, no specks of dust. A large table is already set up. It's like a pure white room. And there appears to be no barrier in between the two places. But there is a distinct difference of like large lavish rugs on like wooden floors, like cozy like fireplace, even though you don't need one here because it's hot, but it's just his vibes he wanted to have here. Like different shelves or bookshelves, and then all of a sudden the room just changes to like clean room. Very weird.
I must say, Lucian, I've never seen a gallery like this in all my life.
That's the point, of course.
Well, shall we proceed and get ready?
Of course. If you would just present the piece, I will have my experts handle it, verify it, see if any restoration needs taking place.
Yes, of course. CC, come here, please.
And she knows she's not supposed to say anything, so she's all like,
Yes, can you please retrieve the bag so we can extract the tapestry?
Yeah.
You're quite short. Yes.
that tapestry is like wall size and it's longer than your little arms. So it's gotta help you. Yep. And he sort of just looks almost like in disgust and in like awe. And he just looks and goes, and who is this impish little creature?
Oh, this is one of my underlings, Cece. She's quite non-verbal, so she makes a lot of grunting noises.
Oh.
And then I just like bow and then like scuttle back into like as far back as possible.
Oh, it bows. Oh.
She's very polite, yes.
And just like claps like it's a show.
Bruce, if you could come here, please, and I look at Hayden to help me carry the tapestry, and then we'll roll it out.
No, you may not. I'm sorry. Experts and all.
Oh, by all means, of course.
I wouldn't want you to touch this with the disgusting bare hands now.
I can understand it.
And then he sort of like claps, and then you see it looks like 6 people come in, and they're wearing like white, pure white linen shirts. They all have their hair sort of tied up. They have like wide legged like linen pants. They're like barefoot, and then they just all like take the tapestry on its own and carefully move it towards like this table in the middle of the room. And as they're doing that, I will say thank you, Wanderers Haven, for the raid. Very much appreciate you bringing your crew on over here. We're on our 38th episode, and they're about to have some art curated from an ancient little piece that they found that's worth up to 20,000 gold pieces. Big money on the table. But thank you very much for bringing your crew over here. Very much appreciate it, and I hope you all enjoy the show. So they take this, and you both, Taj and Cooter, and let me look at Ezra, what's your arcana?
My arcana is +4.
Yeah, and Azric too. You notice that as they're walking towards this clean room where it goes from like, rich mahogany wood floors to like just pure white, something happens. They go through some sort of magical barrier of sorts, and there's some sort of change. And you notice that this sort of scroll case that you had kept this tapestry in, a little dusty from the warehouse that was in, just from the nature of all like the junk it was around. As they walk it through, that scroll case becomes pristine as it goes through the area.
I wish you have the illusion. My goodness.
It's sort of a something of my design, of course. It's a permanent sort of prestidigitation barrier, so that even if someone were to try to do anything nefarious or make any mistakes, it's corrected for them.
Very impressive.
We can't have rare pieces of art afford to be destroyed or soiled. And they walk it through, and they start unfurling this gigantic wall-sized tapestry known as Eternal Harmony. And if you would remember, this tapestry is portraying a breathtaking panorama that sort of seamlessly blends, nature, magic, emotion, vivid colors, intricate details woven into the fabric here. There's like a lush, fantastical landscape with towering trees, cascading waterfalls, this vibrant flora. And then there are other sort of celestial entities on this tapestry here. in the background. And you also notice that there are individual depictions of each of the pantheon of the people, the gods that people worship in Erebos, that are seemingly amongst the common people and interacting with them. Sort of this subtle motif that the original artist was trying to get across of them, you know, interacting with the common folk. And you would also know that this piece may have been why it was lost or taken or stolen, is that people hated this idea at the time of the gods walking amongst the common people. Because at that time, you of course had to be someone of the clergy to have that sort of privilege, a cleric perhaps, of being able to directly interact with a divine being, and it was up to you to interpret to the common people what they wanted. So it was very unpopular with the divine at the time of its making. And its last tapestry that the artist Alienari Sylvalis had ever done. After that, she switched to a different medium. So beautifully unrolled on this table. It looks in pristine condition, you know, to your eyes. It doesn't look like they need to do anything. And then they go through the sort of the meticulous process of verifying the artwork. You can see that there are other paintings brought in, other tapestries that they are directly comparing to, and sort of taking notes and things. So while this is all going on, Ashbourne is just sort of entertaining you, asking you all if you want drinks, just, you know, making a party out of it, because this is going to take a while probably.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, that would be lovely.
Mm-hmm. So he'll fetch drinks, snacks, whatever you want to do. But it's up to you what the next steps are. Now, you see, this might be quite a long and arduous process as well. It is quite a large piece, and we can't afford to be incorrect about its heritage. So,
what are the next steps?
well, of course, after this we will verify it. I will ensure that it is placed in a proper storage mechanism that will also allow us to display it. And with it being Moon Day today, once this is verified, of course, I have my work cut out for me. As well, it is now up to me to market this piece and create allure and, well, desire for it.
Well, I expect you'll be very impressed that it is the genuine article, and I look forward to business with one another.
Now, the symposium's auction will be held in the evening of Fire's Day at the Gilded Spire. I will arrange for transportation for you all to the auction, as I'm sure they would have many questions of the daring adventurers that were able to grasp this timeless piece from the depths of the ocean and learn all about how you found it. So you will need to be there, of course.
Oh, yes, most certainly. And this will be also on Fire's Day?
Oh, yes, of course, the evening. It is, while everyone else is having their sort of presentations of their knickknacks and little trinket inventions, the Gilded Spire is where the real business dealings take place, of course. And at the heart of it, the auction.
Is it heavily guarded?
The Gilded Spire is where the Gilded operates. There's nowhere else that is more guarded. Beside the point that it is, well, surrounded by the atoll in a large body of water, and it being a small island in the center. So, very hard to get in or out.
I ask because we have gotten into some trouble lately, and I just want to make sure that our piece of work is not going to get stolen.
What sort of troubles have you gotten into?
Somebody is following us. We do not know why, but that they are causing trouble.
Does it have to do with the peace? Am I in danger here? I'm
No,
just
they do
keeping
not.
this here.
They are not aware of the peace. They do not know about it. But if we are there, they might find out about it. I just don't want it to get stolen. That is all I ask.
One moment. Sherrod, double the guard. Triple the guard. Thank you. I'm sorry. Precautions and all. What were you saying? I'm so terribly sorry. He looks visibly nervous. Like, the thought of like people like coming after him, like he's not built for this. He's a hoity-toity rich dude. Like he's not the kind of person people are gonna be after him. Like,
you are fine. Nobody. They are not here for you. They are here for us.
why are they after you?
Well, during our brunch, I guess some of our discussion rumors were slipped out that this piece is here on the island, so people have been pursuing us. So we've been using a little bit of smoke and mirrors to move about the atoll, so no one actually knows we're here, nor that the piece is in the gallery.
Perhaps we can use this. A rival adventuring crew that thought they were going to get the piece before you, but you were more crafty. What are adventurers? Smart? No. I'll think of a narrative. We can workshop it.
Kuda writes cunning on a piece of scroll and just like
Cunning.
Oh, yes, I do like that. Cunning. It's more cunning, more capable, and you are able to secure the piece in a head-to-head race against these other lesser adventuring crew. This could work in our favor. Well, this could perhaps take all evening. I am more than happy to entertain you all. But what else is there to discuss? I think the brunt of the work is now on me. Unless you have any sort of other connections or things or any sort of pieces of information that would help make my job easier.
I guess we'll just leave you to your work. I'm sure you're a very busy individual, and we'll let you get back to it.
Indeed. Now, remember, fire stay, the evening, sunset to be safe, wear your finest, of course.
Yes, of course.
And I suppose I shall see you there. You know the main area where they take people over to the spire, I'm sure. There'll be someone there, one of my attendants waiting for you. We'll have a small boat to take you across.
Oh, very good. And we will see you at Thursday.
Indeed.
Do we actually know where it is or no?
He's assuming you do. Because
No,
he thinks
I'm
you're
asking
rich.
like the DM, like, do we know where it is?
No, you could easily find out though.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like, oh, like, can you just tell us, or if we needed to know.
Yeah, you could easily find out. He's just assuming you've been there, done that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Because he thinks that you're a bunch of people of the same sort of ilk as him. But yeah, you guys don't necessarily know. And pretty much like I'll just go to like the map here. Like basically how the Gilded Atoll here is just like a giant donut, basically. There in the center, there's like a small, like it's just the Gilded Spire in the middle. No one else can get to it. It's controlled back and forth. And that's where the Gilded operate. That's where they live. That's where the consortium, which is the overall, like the quote unquote government is called. of this place, that's where they do all of their business dealings and such. So that's what he meant by if any place is going to be guarded, it's going to be that place.
Cool.
So he's got his best people working on verifying the piece, getting everything ready, getting it ready for show. Now it's up to you all to decide what you want to do. Until then,
I'm gonna go shopping for a new outfit because I can't show up in the same one without being an atrocity.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Are you gonna go back to the same place that you had gone previously?
Yes, I'll go back to the Excellent.
Fantastic. So you can go there. Let's see here. If you were looking for like top of the line, high fashion, like what you would think would be required of you, at sort of this place, you're looking at, let's see.
I'm hoping to look lordly since
Yeah.
Aiden kind of lied and called me a lord, so I need to look the part.
Yeah. So typically like fine clothes would be like 15 gold pieces. I would say like if you're wanting to go like to the level that people are what you expect where they're going to be, you could easily cost you 25, even 30 if you wanted to bump that extra lordliness. And that goes for anyone who wants another outfit in this area. You know, we don't have to go through all the RP and the shopping and stuff, but if you're going to want something fit for the symposium's auction at the Spire, might be a good idea. But like I said,
throw in some bling, some jewelry.
That would be the 30.
Okay, excellent.
25 is like we're like hoity-toity top of the society, kind of like what like Sterling would be, a little better, like what Sterling's best would look like going to the Spire. You throw in, instead of 25, you throw in 30, you're at Lord status. You're up there with what Ashbourne is like, because he is Lord Lucius Ashbourne, or Lucian Ashbourne, remember correctly. So depending on what you all do, just make a note of it, spend the money, and then when it comes time, you can describe your beautiful outfits for the big ass party that's going to be in the middle of the atoll.
Never felt so fancy.
All right, fine clothes. Well, crew, we have until Thursday, so it's after 4 days. Feel free to do whatever you wish.
Okay. Well, I think probably ought not do a whole lot given the fact that we're being hunted.
Should we perhaps go check in about that, say if our friend's woken up and if they have any more information about what we might expect, if someone might ambush us again?
Talking about the captured enforcer?
Yes.
I'll leave that to Hayden's discretion. If we risk ourselves going to public once again, I worry that we'll be under attack.
Yeah, it does make me nervous too. I mean,
Well, we're outside now, Tudor, it's fine.
oh, right. Okay, just in case anyone's as perceptive as I am, you never know these days, do you?
Yeah.
We could scope out Obsidian Elegance. Our ship's going to take a little bit longer, but we have to stay here until Fire's Day anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's an option.
There is also one thing on your list you've acquired today of ruining Thaldir Runelight's life by the symposium. If you want to,
It's during the symposium or before?
she wants his presentation to just be in shambles basically, and everything goes wrong. It was basically what you got.
What was the name of the person? Because I think I missed that one.
I will paste it, but it's Thaldir Runelight. Oh dear.
I guess we could scope that lad out. Why were we sabotaging it again? What was the exchange?
300. Like the money that we paid for the echoing crystal and all that stuff, we essentially would just get it back, like just the $300 back.
Oh, wonderful. Love a cashback guarantee.
So we would need to find his place of work and sabotage his papers, presentation, everything.
Could settle a couple of trappy doos. Although before we do any of that, it is quite late. Maybe we should actually have a proper rest before we do that.
I 100% agree.
That's one thing we definitely shouldn't forget. Got to have all tools available to us if we're going to play some games here. Before things get a little spicy.
All right, I guess we're gonna head back to the ship, disguised and all.
Okay. You can make your way back to the ship easily. They've got sort of the parameters underway now, so if you present the right information, you're not going to confuse them as much as you did earlier, and it won't be an issue. Unless you want it to be. Unless you want to mess with your crew, fuck with them.
Croissant form.
Yeah.
With
Please
the skull
present your
in the middle.
croissant form.
It just says Sir Croissant, and then you turn it over and it's got the skull signet embedded in the back.
I will stop by a bakery though and get croissants for the crew.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Morale, please. Morale, please.
Croissants for the whole crew. Your crew is how many people total?
I think it's max. We have max
24
crew.
24 crew. So a croissant for everyone. I'm just gonna say we'll call it an even like 4 gold.
You got it.
It's just croissants, but they're nice croissants.
Super fancy croissants.
Yeah, I mean the crew loves it. It's not enough to warrant more morale. You're at +5 morale, but they like you very much. It's a very nice gesture.
I want to keep the high riding,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm. They're all very happy about it. And you get the idea that most of your, like a lot of your crew has never had an actual like croissant. Because they're pirates and they stay at sea and they eat shitty like hardtack for bread. So
They've been working so hard. They deserve a little sweetie.
mm-hmm. So you're passing out these wonderful croissants, and Whisper sort of comes by and grabs hers and starts eating it, very surprised. And then she sort of looks at you all and she goes, "Why do I get the feeling you're buttering us up for something?"
Well, I just wanted to do something nice for the crew. Everyone's been working hard. The repairs are underway, and people have been working double to keep eyes open in case the cartel comes aboard. Just a nice reward.
Right. Give it to me straight, Captain. What sort of shit have you stepped into? No captain I've ever heard of's bought croissants for a pirate crew.
Oh, Whisper, you and I both know I'm not like any other pirate.
That's the fucking truth, but go on.
Well, we were attacked again today after brunch by the cartel. They brought even greater numbers. I regrettably went down once again, but fortunately the emissaries arrived on the scene and Taj resuscitated me. And, well, you know, maybe the third time will be much worse.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice, Captain. Perhaps you should gloss over the parts of the stories where you were not unconscious in battle. Being a pirate crew and all, a captain's strength, prowess in battle is quite important to a lot of these people, and sort of spreading around that you are perhaps lacking in that department could invite either scrutiny or perhaps challenges to your authority.
A good point. Well, fortunately, none of the crew know, just the officers. Well, not even, just you, really, out of all the officers. And on the atoll, we are not pirates at all. We are masquerading around as nobles and art collectors and investors. So,
Right. Who's happy? Spirits seem up. They're starting to question why we're not hunting, but it's sort of more of a murmur than an uproar.
well, with the ship still needing repairs, I hope they would understand we can't go hunting in the current conditions. And after the week is done, we can set sail and do whatever we wish. I know they're itching for a fight.
Very well.
We are taking precautions, Whisper. We are now disguising ourselves when we leave the ship and when we board the ship, so that should help lower the risk of the cartel coming after us a third time.
And he sort of looks over, and I'm assuming you all are in the general vicinity of this conversation. Like, it's not meant to be like a pulled you out to the side, and he's like, I see. I believe that Mr. Hayden looked quite ridiculous when he got aboard the ship.
Oh, he was ravishing.
I'm sure it fooled some people.
Well, Taj did well enough for something put together in an alleyway. Although it wasn't to my taste, but whatever.
You should keep the blush, it suits you. Put some
Really?
color in your cheeks.
The eyeliner a bit too much, though.
Well, depends on how it's applied. I mean,
Noted.
you can call it eyeliner, but I would say that taking a nice big piece of charcoal and blacking out your eyes is a great way to strike fear into the hearts of your enemies as you're boarding their ship, but that's a little bit different, isn't it? A lot less stylish, more functional.
Also helpful against the sun's rays, sure. Anything to note that we may need to know since we've been off the ship?
Whoever's on guard are scrutinizing literally everyone who comes aboard and leaves the ship, even if they're easily recognized as a member of the crew, so there's that.
It's good.
To a
Ozak,
point.
I can't wait for this week to be over. I'm about tired of this stuffy, ridiculous island, and I want to get back on the open seas as much as anyone else.
I don't know. I kind of find it quite fascinating myself, but you know me.
Speaking of Kuto, you might want to check on Artie before the night's over. He tried to grab my wrist to stop me from going aboard, and it didn't work out too well for him.
Oh. Oh dear. Oh, well, I'll go do that right now.
It's fine, just a backhand to the orbital socket. Wait till morning.
Oh no.
Well, you've been attacked twice. From what I understand about the cartel is that third time might be the charm, since they are taking stock of your abilities. Since you're taking precautions, hopefully that's enough.
Oh. Are you inviting to go with us on the symposium, Whisper?
Do I have a death wish? Not particularly, but I suppose orders are orders.
Very good. Well, we need to look our best for the symposium, so take this 25 gold and get yourself something delicate.
I'm not wearing a fucking dress.
Very good.
I think you'd look fine in something similar to what I had, right? Mine wasn't anything too tacky. Did she ever see me in the clothes that I had?
She noted when you walked on board.
No, not the Taj one. The other
bodyguard
clothes.
ones.
I came on board and changed, and I was helping the crew.
I don't know. Maybe I'll defer to Taj's expertise as opposed to a couple of pirates telling me how good I'd look in certain clothing.
Fair enough.
So, what is it you would have me do to accompany you?
I just have our backs. So far, we're just parading around as rich assholes.
You realize I do my best work in the shadows, right?
Good point. Well then, yeah, just stay on our tail.
Are you able to secure me an invite to this thing?
I am, yes, but you will have a nice dress. We'll have to look our best.
Taj, did you agree to all this? This is really necessary.
It is something that we must do.
How much are the asking the DM?
Yep.
I can't remember. Did we share like the plan, like this thing we have that we're gonna sell for a big payout with her, or not?
He knows because you told her that the cartel is after you, and then you told her that you stole something from him, and she was like, "Why the fuck would you do that?" A couple episodes ago, basically.
Listen, none of us want to do any of this, but if all works out in the end, we'll be able to leave this island behind with a fat payday. So, that's my motivation, at least.
Well, I guess the 20,000 gold question is this a payday for you, or is it a payday for your crew?
So, a portion of it, I'm hoping to pay off a good sum to our employer.
Well, if this is meant to be a take, including your crew, there are rules and shares and such. I would advise not going against that. If this isn't a take that is shared with the crew, then you can do whatever you want with it, but then we'll negotiate my cut.
I'll go with the latter.
No extracurricular activities then.
Indeed.
Well, this ought to be interesting. How much is my help worth to you? Ensuring that you aren't killed the night of the auction.
Well,
Hayden, you may proceed.
we don't have money in hand yet, and we're not sure how much the item will sell for. So until we have an exact number, it'll be hard to divvy out a cut, unless you're asking for some sort of percentage of whatever we get.
Well, that seems reasonable. Well, you have an idea of how much you're going to get. The variance isn't that much. So,
Well, I'll defer to Asric on this.
Say, just 2%.
no. So, out of you lot, there's 5 shares. A share for the person getting this taken care of. How much of the cut are they taking?
I believe if we sell it for the maximum amount, he would take 18%. If we sell it less, then under 15k, he would take 15.
I don't want any fancy atoll accounting here. My percentage comes off the top, not with what you have left.
You can either take it or leave it. Gilded Spire is heavily fortified.
I'm aware. Let me ask you this, Captain. In a place like the atoll that is so driven by mercantile and capitalism, how is it that a cartel continues to operate freely? What sort of guesses may you have?
Well, they have their fingers everywhere. The roots run deep.
How safe do you feel on the atoll is the question. And if your answer is not, well, it's smart to employ help. It's smart coming to me. I'm expensive for a reason.
That is very true, but you are also a member of our crew.
We just established this as an extracurricular activity, Captain. Because if this is a crew dealing, then, well, the shares will be divvied up amongst the crew.
Ah. Listen, a whisper. Either you help us keep us alive, or don't. I just offered you an opportunity to join us.
I mean,
Whether
sure.
you want to or not, that's up to you. But my stance is firm. A percentage of what is left, not off the top.
No hard feelings, of course, to any of you. Except maybe Hayden. If you all don't come back, well, who's that leave in charge?
And your dream is fulfilled, and you have your own ship. So it's a win-win for you, I say.
Give me a number. What are you willing to pay? We'll go from there.
If we sell for the maximum amount of you 300. Anything under 15, we'll give you 150.
Make it 2 and 3, and I'll call it a deal for a night's work.
Deal.
And she extends her hand out to you. Shake on it.
And I do so as well.
Yep. Very well. Easy payday, Captain.
Pleasure.
If you don't mind, I would request leave from the ship up until the time so I can prepare.
You have your leave. Remember, you need the nice dress.
I need nice clothing, Captain. I don't need a dress.
Whatever you prefer, if this suits your style, but it has to look exquisite.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'm off to bed. I bid you good night.
Very well. And she looks over to the rest of the officers. Anything else for me?
I think we're all settled here.
Fair enough. And she removes herself from the conversation, having struck a deal with you all. Minimum 200 gold, max 300 to follow y'all around for a night. Make sure you don't die.
And her silence.
Mm-hmm. And her silence. Very true. She kind of put y'all between a rock and a hard place, to be honest. All right, made a deal with Whisper, and for the rest of you all, you can call it a night. Figure out what you want to do in the coming days. You've got some time to figure out what the next course of action is. You've got several irons in the fire. One of which is ruining Thaldir's life. And the other is making it to the actual auction. Maybe exploring more information about that, but it's up to you all. And then of course the captured cartel enforcer, if you so choose to speak with them. But with that, that'll be the end of this day. It is now Twins Day, the 3rd of Sextus.
Less
we have a long
rest.
rest.
Hit points.
Long rest for everybody. Full night's rest.
Did you say Twins Day?
It is Twins Day.
Just a reminder, if anyone has any spells that they need to swap out for those spell peoples.
Thank you.
Those spellcasters.
Thank
And
you.
they're spellcasters.
Disembodied wizard of the Tome of Knowledge, dropping that to all of the people at home just in case.
Yeah, for all the people at home who need to swap out their spells,
That's
now's
right.
the chance.
You need to remember that that's a thing that they can do.
For all those brand new players out there, just letting them know you can switch out your spells every long rest if you're certain classes, and it's just really great of you to give them that reminder.
You're welcome. I'm happy I can do that for you guys. I'm happy to be that for you.
Fantastic. So far, it's a beautiful day on the atoll. It's warm. much like any other day. You have essentially 3 more sleeps until it's the day of the symposium. Up to you all what you want to do with that time. There's also downtime options, investigations into anything that you want to investigate. Seeing the sights, totally up to you all how you want to do this. But I think that that might be a good place for us to wrap up for the evening. A little early, but that's okay, because I think whatever you might do next might open up some kind of can of worms, right, and become a thing that we probably don't have time for tonight.
Very true. Very true.
Oh man. But anyway, with that, thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for being here after our couple weeks back. We very much appreciate it. If this is your first time here, we do an MVP poll at the end of each episode here, and it'll be in the Twitch chat. So if you want to vote who was the MVP of the episode, you may do so, and whoever gets the highest number of votes will get an inspiration for their character to use. So it does matter. Your votes count. Democracy at work, everyone. So the poll is live right now. Make sure to vote immediately, and then they will all be vying for an inspiration which may come in handy soon with all the shenanigans you have and all the irons you have in the fire.
But I want to give a community inspiration to Village, who made an exquisite fan art very quickly in the Casters and Cantrips Discord.
Oh, did she already do it?
So if you want to check out the fan art that she drew during this session,
looks so good.
check out the Casters and Cantrips Discord right now.
What chat is it in? Hall of Champions or
Campaign chat?
Campaign chat.
Campaign chat. Folk and Myth, thank you so much for rating this evening. Very much appreciate it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we just wrapped it up. I'm so sorry.
No.
I feel so bad, but that's okay because we play every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we're going to be back. And if I am guessing correctly, next episode, our crew is going to be auctioning off a potential piece of artwork that might get them 20,000 gold, and they're going to try and ruin someone's life. So it'll be very exciting. But thank you all so much for bringing your crew over here. I very much appreciate it. I will definitely check out.
We usually play a little longer than this too. I think we usually go to like what 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we got back and we're right at a good stopping point, and I like to find natural narrative places where it makes sense to stop. And they were at a cusp of like the next thing that they did would be probably a whole thing. So,
Whole episode.
It'd be a whole ass thing. So but that's okay. Thank you so much for the follows. We very much appreciate it. If this is your first time here, I will say go check out our YouTube if you haven't yet. We have lots of interesting content over there, like our Tome of Knowledge episodes, which is about D&D in general, our podcast. We have our Out of Combat episodes, which are on VOD, on our VOD only, and our podcast format, where we kind of spill the tea, talk about the episode after the episode, learn all the secrets, learn all the behind the scenes stuff, and that's everywhere that podcasts are sold. And lucky for you, we don't charge anything. Our podcast is for free, so there you go. We also have a Patreon at Casters and Cantrips, where there are different tiers where you can get early access to all these things. There's even a tier where you can build an NPC that will be in the world as we're playing through. So lots of cool stuff over there. But thanks so much for being here. I will say, Hayden and Taj, you guys need to do a little roll off because you both got the same amount of votes. So
could I give it to Hayden and bow out for being such a good sport and letting me dress him up as a woman?
Yeah, you could definitely concede and give Hayden
I'll take it.
Yeah, he's like, he'll definitely take that gift for sure. So anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Happy to be back after our little vacation hiatus. We're going to be back next week, 6 p.m. Pacific. Also, Tome of Knowledge will not be going this Monday because I forgot I'll be out of town for work. Whoops. It's been a long week, y'all. We had a lot of shit go on, but that's okay. We'll definitely be back next week. Come hang out with us, and we'd love to have you. But thanks everyone, and have a fantastic evening. Bye.
Bye.